Hello everyone, and welcome back to House Flipper. This is not the vibe today, but it is the vote, so I will do my best. I also have a house that I'm more than likely going to leave where it is, and just completely disregard my financial situation in this game. But let's get the sound back on, and get back in. Yeah, I just have this flagrant disregard for my financial situation. I spent so much money on that rail car, and I'm just like, nope, I'm keeping it. I think I've just made up my mind that it's mine. I can't let go of it. It was a thing of beauty and a joy forever, and I can't do it. I got 2 dogs, and they're both big now. Audie. So yeah, Audie grew up. She's big now. She got one little spot on her rump. And then we got Rex. Rex, the OG, the main man. Okay. So yeah, I have... where are my properties? Browser? Owned. Okay, so yeah, we have this one, which is now my Gothic train car that I'm holding on to for dear life. There's this one that I renovated, and I love it. I love the colors. It's just such a sweet little house. Surprisingly, for some odd reason, the renovation cost is like $400, which I don't understand how, but yeah, this one I spent a pretty penny on. It's fine. It's okay. I love it. Hello, how's it going? I'm just talking about my disregard for my financials because I'm obsessed with this train car. I'm keeping it. I don't care. I know you're supposed to flip the houses, but I'm the anti-flipper. I can't. Hello, Pander. Oh, look, Pander nabbed first. And then I have the office. I don't care about the office. So right now, I have, what, 140... We'll just call it $150,000 worth of property. No, that's too high. 100 and... yeah, that's what, 9... Okay, just shy of $150,000 of property. And then I'm hoarding. I'm not willing to give any of it up. I've sold one house, and it was this one. And I liked it. This house is not cursed. But I loved this house, and I'm so sad. I'm so sad that I sold it. So, yeah, no, I'm just going to keep properties that I shouldn't, and not do what I'm supposed to be doing. Every time I hear the quack, I think it's audio. Someday, if I sold those houses, I would be able to buy these new, nicer houses, but I don't want to, because I love the old ones. So for now, I think we're just going to end up going and doing some of the, the basic ones. I'm going to avoid the garden ones because I'm horrible at landscaping. I'm the worst, legit the worst. So I think we're just going to focus on some of the other ones. A house in need of renovations. I don't care what they're telling me. I'm just like, oh, okay. There's supposed to be a story or something, some kind of lore, but I just, once again, just a disregard of, everything. I just want to do some stuff. Oh, good lord, that's a lot. They never require me to, do anything with the yards unless it specifies, but I can't leave one of my houses looking like this. I don't want people to be like, oh, did you work on that house? And be embarrassed to say, yeah, I did. But these people, how has the city not sent that? Code compliance. Code compliance is a thing, people. This is not up to code. Oh gosh, I can already see the mess inside. I don't want to go in. I already see the horror that lies within. Okay. Wait. I like following the little tracker thing. Okay. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I'm like, you know what? Free of charge. The OCD demands that I take care of your horribly neglected yard. Even if that means tracking down all these stupid dandelions. Which, honestly, I kind of like having dandelions at my house. It's very unpopular opinion, but I think they're kind of cute. Hi, Audie. I don't hate dandelions as much as other people do, apparently. I'm just like, yeah, just leave it. It's fine. Okay. I think that's it for the weeds. I will come back later and mow everything. That is a lot of trees. Okay, and as a homeowner, I am now extremely concerned about the proximity of trees to my house because my house is built on a slab. I don't have a crawl space, and when you build on a slab, all these trees, as they grow big and strong and nice, you run the risk of the roots burrowing into the slab, and it gets into your pipes. It makes your house uneven. You can get, your floors can sink. Water can get in that way. It's bad news bears. But I never thought of this before becoming a homeowner, and now I'm paranoid. I'm like, but, I don't want my house to sink. Okay, and who on this development team designed these houses? I have never seen a house that you open the door and you walk in to random hallway with 3 doors. No. Who designs these houses? I'm pretty sure these people have never seen a house before. I have some choice words for these people. Seriously. Has anybody in the comments ever come across a house like this? Because they have a couple. There's been several of these houses and businesses and whatnot that, just, you open the door and there's a hallway. I'm like, what even is that? Okay, cleaning. Also, I find it really weird. The proportions don't make any sense. Because when you walk up to a window, at most, here, I will even rise to the occasion and stand in front of my window and measure. So this is a totally average window. It goes to the bottom of my rib cage. It's not that tall. Bottom of the rib cage is where the bottom of the window is. With this view, this is telling me that window ledge is at least to my collarbones. That doesn't make a lick of sense. Who designed these houses? The perspective is off. This has got to be a British thing because I've never actually seen a house with a radiator. Okay, maybe historical buildings, but I've never actually seen a modern home. What is this? Do you not see this rat trap of a house? Oh, good lord. What? Why is there a screen door in the house? Oh my lord. Who did this? Who hurt this person? This is disgusting. I'm sorry. I hate this. I hate this so much. Who did this? Who hurt this designer? If I was staying in this house as a guest, I'd be waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to the bathroom, only to realize I can't find a gosh darn thing in this house. You walk into a random hallway and there's doors everywhere. This wall is completely unnecessary. I doubt it's load bearing. Who hurt these people? Also, oh, there it is. It's where's the grime? Who designed this house? It's a monster. Why would you Okay, this could be like an office, but the kitchen should not be the first thing in the house. The kitchen is the heart of the house. It should be back here somewhere. There's a bathroom. How many bathrooms do we have in here? There's 2 bathrooms already? That's a horrible, horrible colored bedroom. This should be the kitchen. This doesn't make any sense. Sliding glass door into this monstrosity? What is... About to lose my dang mind. This house is horrible. It's horrible. Can I redesign this how I want? I'm going to be knocking down walls. The kitchen, the kitchen's perfect. Lies. Web of lies. I'm dying. Okay, so they want this to be a bedroom. Yeah, let's just put your bedroom right across from the kitchen, because that makes a load of sense. What is this? Okay, also, must be a British thing. I have never seen a house with a washer or dryer in the bathroom. This episode turned from not a vibe to I'm losing my mind. Like, I can't with the designers of this house. Like, okay, I just want to pull up the blueprint. Just the blueprint alone. And I just want to take a look. Okay, how do I don't know. I don't even know how to. Camera, gallery. No. No. I don't even think I can just pull up. Oh gosh. Okay, so. Starting. It looks like I am not going to be able to make the changes that I so desperately wish to make. If I had it my way. This would be the office. This would get torn out. This wall and this wall. This would become a front living / like kind of sitting room. This would be the kitchen. This door would go. This would stay a bedroom. This is fine as a bathroom. Or actually, this might be the bathroom. That might be the utility room. There's no need to have 2 bedrooms in the same hall, 2 bathrooms in the same hallway. Or, gosh, this is a tiny room. We could also remove this door, patch it in, and make this a master bedroom and have a bathroom there. And then, honestly, this... I don't know, because the wall doesn't go all the way through. I might actually be tempted just to tear out this whole wall as well. And then, yeah, kitchen would be here. I would probably put like a little like breakfast nook, maybe right here. If I kept this wall, I would put a breakfast nook here and then a formal dining room here. But this is trash. This house is trash. I hate it. Okay, and we still have things to clean. Okay, so that takes care of that. Where? It's like, where is this mess? There we go. It's right there, right in front of my face. Okay, and there. Oh, jeez. There's grime, gunk and grime. These people don't want renovations. They just want me to put lipstick on this pig. I'm sorry if anybody's like upset with how much I'm harping on this house, but like, this is a nightmare. This is a logistical nightmare. Makes no sense. It doesn't want to make sense. The traditional layout of the house is just, it's gone. And this goes beyond like, oh, it's quirky, it's a cute house. No, this just goes to straight up irritation. Like, you tried and failed. Oh, gosh. Like, why? Why would you do this? Okay, I think that's all the garbage. There's just a lot of dirt and dust and grime. Oh gosh, this wall's terrible. It's okay, Rose. It's fine. You don't have to live here. Just telling myself it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Like seriously, as soon as I saw the boat, I was like, like, you know, I don't really want to play House Flipper, but you know, just I'll give it a go. I'll give it the old college try, and now I'm just like, now I'm enraged by the design choices. Okay, so okay, well, I gotta go clean all the windows. Window cleaning has gotta be like, I always forget. Okay, no windows. Okay, windows. So many windows. Ah, there she is. There she is. Pander quacked earlier, and I was like, "Oh, I thought it was you." It's okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, no. Whoever designed these houses is a moron. And I'm like, I'm not even an expert in like interior design or anything by any means. But come on. It's like the developers just told them, design the most like out of the box house that you can think of. Just throw in whatever you want. Whatever tickles your fancy. And the person took that to heart. They're like, okay. Yeah, it's just, I'm like, oh. Also, audio. You're a writer. Can you answer a question for me? Why do I crave tragedy? I can't write just a happy, simple, fluffy little love story. No. I have to, like, mentally, like, incapacitate my characters to the point where, like, I have to pretty much break them before I can have a happy ending. Like, why? Why am I like this? Why do I need tragedy when I'm writing? Why is it a thing? I don't know. It's this impulse, this drive that I just, like, every time I'm writing, I have to just completely obliterate my characters emotionally. Alright, see, you know, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. But it's like, as I'm reading, I'm just like, I love happy endings, and, you know, I love the characters to be happy, but man, like, I wreck my characters. Because I'm coming to the finish of my first book in the series, and as I'm finishing it, I'm like, you know, okay, so we've gone through all of the emotional roller coasters, and now I'm trying to get some plot lines ironed out for the second one. And I'm like, okay, we got this, we're good. And then I just keep coming up with ideas on how to, like, torment my characters further. I'm like, there's a happy ending, but man, does it take a long, hard road to get there? I love how cleaning was, like, a quarter of this project. Like, I love my characters, don't get me wrong, but man, do I like to be mean to them. And it's like, I feel like I justify that because I'm like, there will be a happy end to the story because I don't write sad endings. But still, like I said, the road to get there was a long and difficult road. Yeah, like, I don't, and I don't do anything, like, heedlessly. I will, if they're suffering, it is for a reason. And it's not because I hate my characters, because I love my characters. Most of them. Okay. I love the good characters. The ones who are villains are meant to be villains and are not meant to be loved. They don't deserve it. But I will make them suffer to the point where, like, tears and trauma, and I'm just like, you know what? It's good. It's good stuff. And And I do feel like it makes the ending way more satisfying. Because there's nothing more satisfying than a hard-won victory. But dang, if I'm like, I sit there and I feel like a villain, like, plotting these backstories. I'm like, did I really just do this to this character? Like, yes. Yes, I did. Do I feel bad about it? Kind of. But, like, I'm sitting there just like, I'm like, am I the villain just, like, twirling my mustache or something? Like, I feel like a cartoon villain. Just being like, oh, look at this massive tragedy that will befall my characters. Yeah, I'm like, it's so horrible. Yeah, and like, I don't think people, like, you always see people being like, oh, like, these authors, like, they hate their characters, and I'm like, no. I'm like, do you realize how much we cry when we kill people? Like, it's so heartbreaking. It's not something we want to do. It's just, we are driven to do so. Like, that was me, in the current story that I'm writing. And, of course, you know, I'm sitting there writing at work like I'm not supposed to. Just because I'm bored out of my gourd. So I'm sitting there writing, and they're having this exchange, and, like, good lord, it's so heartbreaking, because he's telling her about his past, about, like, the big bad secret that's been lurking this whole time, and he tells her, he finally admits everything, and to have this man, this beautiful heaven-sent man, just start sobbing into her arms, and telling her, like, everything that happened, and him going into the excruciating detail of having to say goodbye to this person that he loved, feeling like he hadn't done enough. Like, he's tortured himself for 3 years, trying to make amends as best as he possibly could. She passed away, so there's no making it right with her, but, you know, through his actions in his life, he's trying to make up for it. And he's just so heartbroken. So I'm sitting there writing at work, and I'm just bawling my eyes. Like, I'm just like, oh my, am I holding it? Mom's holding it? And I'm like, it's so sad. Like, it's so heartbreakingly sad. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. They're doing it. They're the ones who made their own backstories. It's just like, ugh. And did I enjoy killing one of the sweetest characters I've ever written? No! I hated it! And I'm like, why did she have to die? Why couldn't, like, anything else could have happened? But I'm like, no, the story demands it. Okay, speaking of villains. Villains are one of those things. If you create a really good villain, you will hate them so much. But there is not a thing you can do, because that villain is not you. You don't create a villain to control them. They do their own thing. They're off all willy-nilly just being absolutely horrible people, and you're just sitting there watching going, oh my gosh. You're like, why? Why are you doing this? And I think that's another thing, like, people don't necessarily understand, like, when you're crafting a villain has a mind of their own. They are the darkest parts of your imagination that you have no control over. I can't, like, with these characters currently, it's their father, he's the big bad ugly right now. And you know, I can't control him. I hate him with every fiber of my being, and I want bad things to happen to him, but I am not in control over him. He's just there. He exists. Like, just this earworm. I hate him so much. Like, the characters really do dictate their own path. Currently, my MC, Georgiana, she's tragic. Like, horribly tragic. And I feel so bad for her. But that is her story. That is the story that demanded telling. And I I am a slave to writing the story. I love her and I don't want bad things to happen to her, but that is how it is. And it's funny because all of my author's notes on AO3 legit say, so this wasn't in the script. There was a minor redemption arc for a character, not in the script. Completely was not there. So Georgina ends up, with custody of her niece, which was supposed to happen in a completely different way. This goes hand in hand with the redemption arc. I'm like, when did that happen? Why did that happen? But the characters are like, this is what's gonna happen. It was something that I plotted that I was like, oh, okay, this totally makes sense. All of a sudden, completely changed. Whole different route. I create villains. I don't like creating villains. Like I've already said, I don't like it. But I create villains to drive home the best parts of my characters. My characters are given villains to prove themselves worthy of their happy endings. I believe that everyone deserves happiness, but for my characters, there's always something or someone telling them, no, you don't deserve this. You can't have this. This is not for you. It will be held up right beyond their reach, but they will always be smacked down telling them, no, you don't deserve this. And then, normally the romantic interest, or someone they love who's very close with them, is the driving force in telling them, you deserve this. This person is horrible, they're a liar, don't listen to them, listen to your heart, listen to me. And, it proves to them that they are worthy of love and affection, and worthy of being, most of the time, so for Georgina, Matthew proves that she is beautiful, she is kind, smart, wonderful. Everything that her father has always told her, no, you're horrible, you're ugly, you're stupid, all these things. And she's believed him all these years. And Matthew comes in and is like, no, don't listen to him anymore. Let me prove to you through my actions and my heart that you are amazing. And it's so heartbreaking. I'm writing it just crying. I'm like, but it's so beautiful. Yeah, I write to cause emotions in people. That's my main goal. I want people to cry. And it's not being mean. I want to touch somebody's heart so much that they can't help but cry. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm just I'm writing these characters going through this incredibly, incredibly difficult time. But you know what? They're flawed and beautiful people who prove that no matter what happens, you can be happy and you deserve a happy ending, and people are going to love you no matter what. And I'm like, I love it. And then I get to move on to, her twin sisters, who that's a whole, literally a whole different story. But I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then it's like, okay, now I have to create a whole other villain with a whole new set of motivations and, a whole new desire to cause chaos. And it's just it's exhausting. I get so tired. But it's like, okay, how to create diverse characters that have unique motives and different drives, different behaviors. How do they go about their villainry? Oh yeah. So are they starting off as an anti-hero who turns villain, or are they just straight up a villain, or is it friend betrayed who becomes villain? Because I love a good anti-hero. I love a good character who's just I didn't sign up for this. This is stupid. Why am I doing this? I feel like maybe that will... No, I mean, you're not really gonna see it. That's fine. That's fine. Because, yeah, anti-heroes are the best. In the second book, there's really, I wouldn't say he's necessarily, like, he's not bad, but he's not really good either. He's kind of a jerk. And that's a little too purple. But, yeah, he's kind of a jerk, but he is the male lead. And you just kind of fall for him. Even though you're really not supposed to. Once again, male lead. But he's not a very likable person. And then the more you find out, the more you're like, oh, that's why he is the way he is. And it doesn't justify, but it explains. So that's gonna be fun, writing a character that infuriates my main character, but who's with reason. And then creating a villain who has to be likable enough that you're not like, I hate this person's a villain. So the faux friend, if you will, they're really the villain, but it's not blatantly obvious. They didn't click a hero. But you literally said they're not a villain, they're a hero that turns into a villain, so they are a villain! What is this villainry? Masked as heroism. But yeah, no, so if anybody asks, they're like, oh, what do you write? I'm like, I write tragedies. I can't have happy people. Happiness comes at the end. Happiness is hard won. I don't like this thing. There we go. Okay, but see, still a villain. And villains, even good character turned villain, they have to have some traits of villainry to begin with. Because a character who is an infallible hero can't truly turn into a villain, in my opinion. Like, they will always carry heroic ideals within themselves. Because it's one thing to have, like, a person who's just, they're a person who's been wronged, who's by nature a hero, is not going to react the same way as a person who had average morals, who got betrayed and became, a villain that way. Those people, I feel like, are slightly unstoppable. To make a hero into a true villain, you have to break them past the point of return. Because like I said, a hero who turns to a villain will always have some heroic ideals. It's the Anakin Skywalker. Yes, he became Darth Vader. Yes, he did some horrible, awful things. But at the very end, he still had enough traces of good to turn him. And it wasn't a full redemption arc. Don't get me wrong. Like, he didn't redeem himself. But he still helped end the Empire in the end. The Joker... And see, I will applaud... I don't like DC or Marvel, really, but I will applaud DC. They have extremely interesting villains. Because a lot of times, they can be sympathetic villains. Not to say that they're not a villain, but they can have extremely sympathetic stories that make you kind of understand why they're a villain, but it cannot excuse them nor create them as a hero. So, like, I was watching the show Gotham. I don't think I made it past season, 2. But in Gotham, Penguin. I loved Penguin. because he had a very sympathetic story, and, you know, it was hard, and, you know, he's got good kind of explanations. That doesn't justify any of the crap that he does, but, you know, you can have a villain who's still a villain completely, but who has sympathetic characteristics and things that make people sympathize with that. Hannibal Lecter, a cannibal, like legit. That is his shtick. Is he was a cannibal. He cannibalized people, killed them, ate them. Horrible. When I watch the movies, I want him to get away. I like Hannibal Lecter. He's charming. He's intelligent. You know, he has this magnetism, and it's like, he ate people! But you create this moral gray area because he is such an intriguing person. And it kind of, I like to morally devastate people. It creates this feeling of just like, you're uncomfortable with your own, like, complacence in their crimes. Yep, that's, so that's, in the second book, that's Andreas. He's a jerk. Like, he's a jerk who has good moments, but Willa hates him. But, like, in those brief and shining moments, he proves that he still can be a good person, but he's been so twisted by loss and hurt and just devastation that, you know, he's a jerk. And so it's like, yeah, they have their happily ever after, but you know what? He's still a jerk, and it's okay to not like him when he's being a jerk. Yeah. I have one work in progress that's about, you know, a crime lord and everything. And you know, like, he's a drug dealer. But the more you get into his backstory and everything, you're like, oh. Well, you know, that kind of makes sense. Like, it's bad, but it's that bad, like, comparatively speaking. It's like, you start making justifications for the character. You're like, but you know, like, when you really think about it, like, it's not that bad. And you're just like, man's a legit drug dealer, and I'm like making excuses for him. Like, he's a good person. I'm like, but he's a drug dealer. Makes no sense. What other they want? Okay, so they're, I hate these ones that they're like wanting all this furniture, and it's like, okay, but like, it's awkward putting everything in this room. Like, this is not a big room. Yeah. See, but that's the thing, is when you put emphasis on particular things, somebody once said that the more important something is, the less you write about it. Like, you can go on for 7 pages about this girl walking through a garden, describing all the flowers and whatnot, but when you get to to a death, it's short. It's almost like you get to this point where you're hardly describing anything. It's a little lost. It makes you kind of do a double take, like, did this really happen? Like, you go back and you're like, you create this feeling in the reader of what just happened, because that's how grief is. Grief, shock, it happens suddenly, and you question everything. You're like, wait, what? You go back, you try to think about things a million times. You're like, what? Why? Like, what's happening? Happiness is easy to show. Grief has to be felt. So I feel like to really drive home, like, devastation and grief, you don't really describe it. You know, you describe this girl as dancing through a field of, you know, marigolds, and, you know, you describe the flowers and the scents and everything, But when you describe a character who's anguishing on the inside, you don't sit there and go over it again and again and again. No, you describe it as a single tear rolling down their cheek. Yeah, hands gripping something till the knuckles turn white. It's very minimal details when you're talking about something that weighs so heavily on people's hearts. And that's how you hurt people. I hate that I do that, but I do. This is what I do. I create emotions. Yeah, you're describing... And you know, I've noticed in my writing style, I hardly ever describe locations. I don't know why, but I don't. I'm very dialogue driven, like dialogue and emotion. I don't really describe the settings. I'm like, you know, I could care less what the couches look like or anything like that. I want to know how these characters are feeling, what, you know, I don't even really describe like their hair or their eyes. Every now and then, just to drive home a point, I'll bring up like hair color or eye color, but it's like, other than that, I don't really talk about it. I just write the situations that are happening. We don't need to go into detail about every little strand of hair or the dust flying through. No, we don't need that. We're beyond such things. I moved it only because it popped out too much with the radiator there. I hate it, but it's staying there. And this house, I legit just got $11,000 for painting and putting in some furniture. Look at that! Finito. Why is everything that same shade of blue? Somebody had a love affair with this blue. That blue wasn't too bad. That, I cleaned. Yes, this house loves... I forgot to mow the yard. It's fine. I love how I've just gone on this very long tangent about emotions and writing and, you know, how to hurt people through your writing. How to make people feel emotions they didn't want to. And I feel like it's partially because I'm a very, like, empathy-driven person. That's like, if I feel terrible for these characters, you should feel terrible too. I'm like, make it happen. Hey, you didn't plan on crying today? Well, guess what? Everyone's crying today. And, you know, I love to bring up, there was this, so it's 2 books, and in the first book, the villain, hate her, can't stand her, I'm wishing horrible, terrible things to happen to this woman. I want her dead, I want this character to suffer so much. Cue the second book. Reading the second book. She ends up dying, and I'm bawling my eyes out going, why? Why did she have to die? Oh my gosh, like, when in the first book, I hated her. I wanted her to die. But the author was so good at manipulating my emotions. By the end of the second book, I'm sobbing my eyes out because this character died. I'm like, really? Why would you hurt me this way? But that is the sign of excellent writing. I didn't want to feel those things. I didn't want to. Did I want to cry in the middle of English class my sophomore year of high school? No. Did I? Absolutely. While I'm, like, hiding my eyes behind my hand going, don't look at me, horribly sobbing in your class when I'm not supposed to be reading, but I was reading anyway. Yes, this is what happens. Also, I talked so much in this episode that I'm kind of out of time. So, I hate to do this to you, but I think I'm going to end this episode here. I don't know. Well. I mean, I'm never going to cry over the Earl of Fenbrook. He deserves everything that's coming to him. And honestly, the sad thing is I haven't actually, like, thus far, no punishment has come to mind. I have no idea what I want to do to him. He and the other characters apparently are just have no idea what to do with him. So, for now, he's just scot-free after emotionally abusing all 6 of his children. I have no idea, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, he needs to die! I'm like, well, thus far their only revenge is I'm going to be happy! That's it. I have no idea. But, anywho, thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry about the tangents, but I will be back tomorrow with another episode of my Discord Members' Choice. But until then, I hope... Yes, and then a meteor strikes him and he dies. You know what? It might happen. But until then, I hope everyone has a fantastic evening, and I hope to see you guys then. Bye!